All right, we are live. Live. Beautiful. One person in the house with us. Three people, one like. Oh, yeah. What's up, Daniel? How are you? Cullen. What's going on? Teresa Wilkins. MS Glades Creature in the house. Holy shit, there's three people, it says. 10 likes. What's going on? Now we're 30 people. What's up, Jesse? John, how are you? Susan Hollis, Troy, Caden, Sharon, Daniel, Brad, Marge, how are you? Miss Firehorse, did you see it? Nope, I didn't, but can you show me? What's up, D? Nez Lover. Hey, Cindy, how are you? Robert Sharp, how are you? 25 lighters on the dresser. Simone, how are you? Adam. Dave. Gravity friggin' cheeseburger. Derek Davis. Andy Davis. Derek and Andy Davis are in the house. Joanne, how are you? Robert Sharp's having pizza. Hi, Wendy. How are you? Cindy Crane. Gigi Mason. How are you? Lunatic Savage. Caden with some green hearts. Robert is eating pizza with anchovies and pineapple. That's Robert Sharp's favorite pizza. Don't listen to him. It's not pepperoni and sausage. It's anchovies and pineapple. And if he says sausage, it's that special kind of sausage. Just fucking with you, Robert. I love you. What's up, Patriotic Yank? Puma Dave, how are you? I like that button, I know. Nope. Said no, I have not. Probably, I will. The second I hear from Victor, everyone will know. I will raise a banner. I will make some sort of whatever. No, I'm just fucking with you. I really miss him. But just woke up and had a big dinner. I was actually, I've been waiting for the live stream. Hey Jen, how are you? Me too. I hope he's doing well also. So anyway, I went up to where Tom Mesick disappeared. As you know, we are coming up on the date of his disappearance, November 15th, 2015. I'm doing well, Charlie Knight. How about yourself? And I first time using the trail cam ever. And I just it was different. I got a couple pictures. They'll be posted tomorrow. Adam Hernandez, how are you? John Cox. And so I hiked out there for about 2 hours. Beautiful day. I fell on a rock. I sucked today. But then I started working here after I got home. And I actually had a full pack of bacon. I literally ran out of time and was eating my turkey pot pie. And I'm like, oh shit, it's 11:30. And so I hurt my wrist. It's a little swollen. I don't know if you can see it this side. But I landed like that on it. And other than that, I'm fine. It is beautiful, to be honest. The Davis Bros, everyone. I know. Andy found his long lost brother. Night of Affliction, how are you? Stargate, what's up? I'm from upstate New York. You're not. No, I'm just kidding. Dean Ferguson, walk in the wood. That's what Robert Sharp was doing with his sausage pizza earlier. Just kidding. Just kidding, Robert Sharp. I love you. You don't eat that whole pack of bacon, did you? I don't eat bacon, whole packs. I eat bacon, but I don't eat whole packs of it. My stomach would not do well. I wish I could, but. Hi, Stephen Knight. How are you? That's a marvelous beard you have there, Stephen Knight. Mammy, how are you? Ronald, there's Joe. How are you, Joe? Tony, what's going on from Tennessee? Dick, how are you? I've got some awesome encounters tonight, fellas and ladies. I got a stack of goodness. I got a stack of goodness for all y'all. Texas Rangers, Jesus Christ. Alan Howell, how are you? You're going to see more of it tomorrow morning. New Haven, Connecticut, up in the house with us tonight. Travis, I'm from Missouri. Ha ha, just kidding. Hey, Stephanie, how are you? Stargate, this channel loves you. Mark. My video patriotic? Joe, just do it good, okay? Giant Slayer, what's up? Animes, Sonia, how are you? Derek Crowley's in the house. From Cott County, Tennessee. On Granger Road. Granger County? Granger. I appreciate that, Melody. I appreciate that. Guys, we hit 55,000 today. We hit 55,000. Isn't that insane? I cannot believe it. I don't know. Hang on a second. I got to check something really quick. I don't know how we're not bigger, but isn't that what she said? I'm just kidding. We actually have, I don't know how we're 55,000 subscribers, but we have over 23 million views. It doesn't make sense to me. Not that I care about how many subscribers, but wouldn't a play button look just fantastic behind me? Wouldn't it? Maid servant, how are you? Not tonight, maybe, but Puma Pete, you're the man, and I appreciate it. Hunters of the Paranormal. Yes, they are lurking. It would look so good. I would spit shine that MFer every day. Just love that thing. So I got some black-eyed kids. I've got a couple of Shout out Dogman to Minneapolis. How are you today, Ronald? I got some black-eyed kids. I got some reservation encounters. Jerry's in the house with us tonight. $20. He's $20. I thought about doing the Teesprings, doing that shirt on Teesprings this week if I can get some time. Like, I literally run out of time. I got up this morning. I normally don't go to bed until like 4 a.m. because I'm constantly recording or working. And then, thank you, Shane. I appreciate that. Sean, excuse me. I'm sorry. But I purposely woke up at 9:30 to give myself a couple extra hours. And I was like, I'll have a couple extra hours. I'll be able to do some stuff. And no, I still ran out of time. And it was complete horse crap because I don't know. But yeah, it was an interesting day. We went up to I went up to where Tom Mesick disappeared. I spent 2 hours up there. Enki, thank you so much. Thank you very much. I truly appreciate that. So I spent 2 hours. I went deeper today in the Adirondacks than I ever have. And it's friggin' awesome. I do need 30 hours. I do. Because there's so much I want to do. I literally sat down and I was like, maybe, if he was still alive. I guess he is not with us anymore. But at like 11:30, I was on the phone with a subscriber shooting the breeze real quick. And I look at the clock and I'm like, oh shit, it's 11:30. I got to eat something. And then I got to get live. So I barely have downtime. Firewolf, how are you? Brandy C. Everyone loves cheesecake. If you don't love cheesecake, you're just un-American. You know, like... he was put down. Katie. Cheesecake is so good. Key lime pie is, oh yeah, I love lime. I love lime anything. You know those Coke machines that have like the 36 different thousands of flavors? I want to buy one for my house so I can just drink lime Coke all day long. I would literally have like a fucking straw attached to that machine and just push the button and just drink lime Coke. If you guys haven't tried lime Coke, holy cow, it's so good. Find that machine, whatever it's called, the Coke machine that's got 6,000 flavors. Push the big Coke button. Lime will pop up. You'll see it. It goes blah. Dude from Texas, 1994. Gravity cheeseburger. Cherry lime slushy from Sonic. The Sonic ice is good. Sonic ice is great. I have like 3 bags of ice from Sonic in my freezer because my oldest daughter like eats it like it's candy. Werewolves do enjoy lime Coke. Absolutely. It is so good. So good. You got to find I forget the name of the machines, but they have them at like our Price Chopper, which is like a grocery mart up here. And they're only $1.06 at the store, but they ran out of their flavoring one day. So I had to go to Five Guys and pay like $4 for a soda. So I sat in the parking lot and chugged one whole soda and then drank another one. Hey, Pops, how are you? Why were you worried about me? I'm doing well. Are you? Frozen Coke and Jack. Maybe back in the day. Back in the day, on the other channel, and you weren't there. I only have one channel, Pops. What are you talking about, dearie? Oh, that was an old live, Pops. You were at an old live. I saw you comment earlier. You got to make sure they're not. You got to look at the date when you click on a video. If it comes up, there's Janie. How are you? Donna Jarvie, how are you? Only places you find one of those. Really? Analog Oracle, what's going on? Thank you very much. Got glitch in the matrix. I saw you comment and I was like, I wonder if she knows she's not at the live. Damian Bloodstone, how are you? Price Choppers kick ass. Price Choppers are so good. They call them Market 32 now. But they're so good. Excuse me. It said waiting for the live. Janie. That's so weird. We got 166 people here, though. Dave, how are you? Leslie, how are you? Well, I don't know. My daughter Abby and Belle keep saying things, but I don't notice anything. Rockin' Steady. Oh, he must be at the wrong one. He must be at the wrong live. Try now. There he is. What's up, Rockin' Steady? He was the sub that I was talking to because he was the sub I was talking to earlier because he had reached out and wanted to share some stuff with me. So hang on a second. Where is he? There we go. Jen Cox, how are you? Let's hear an encounter. Not yet. Calm down. Let's not boss the channel's creator around, okay? I'll be listening, but not in the chat. Oh, Danny. Well, I'm glad that you're here with us. Can't ask for it, Enki. Might get one soon. Never know. Can't ask for it, though. Anybody want an encounter? Give me a thumbs up right here if you want an encounter. It is a bad cough, actually. It sucked. Hey, Karen, how are you? Encounter. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Lemon. All right, guys. Here we go. We'll start the night off with a Black-Eyed Kids experience because I know how much you guys enjoy those suckers. I think I saw a black-eyed kid. So I went online after this happened to me, and people have written stories about their experiences with meeting black-eyed children. And they say that, one, they cannot come into where you are unless you invite them in. They will usually pretend to be lost or need to use your phone or your restroom in order to get into your home, car, or whatever. If you say no, then they cannot come in. Secondly, nobody really has an explanation for what they are. Some people think that they are demons. Some people think they are ghosts or aliens. Nobody really knows. So yeah, I had heard of them before I had this experience, but I really don't have any answers even after this experience. I live in Southeast Pennsylvania. I work in Delaware, and I ride to work. And my ride to work is a very long, winding farm road. At one point, I make a right onto another farm road, and this road is very, very tight space. It's two ways, so you can go one way in the car. We can go opposite way, but it's very, very tight. So when you're driving, the car beside you that's coming the opposite way, you both kind of have to slow down to be safe. It's a dangerous road. Now, on each side of you, there's tall grass and hills. So if a cop is going to pull you over, I'm not really exactly sure where you'd pull off. You'd have to ride down the road for a while before you'd be able to pull over because it's that type of space and there's really nowhere to pull over. So I'm driving on this road. It's a Saturday. I had to be at work at 3 p.m. It's around 2:30 p.m. I'm on the road, once again, very tight space. You think he said that enough? And there are cars coming in the opposite way. I'm slowing down so that they can both pass safely. I look to my right, and there's a break in the hills in the grass where there's an entrance to a farm, and I look over, and in the entrance is a little boy. First of all, on Saturday, it was 40 degrees, and he was not dressed for 40-degree weather. He didn't have a coat on, no hat, no scarf, no gloves, nothing. He had on red and gray striped shirt with jeans. The way he was dressed and the way he looked, he didn't look like he was from this time period. He looked like he was from the 50s. He was very pale, and he was staring. He was standing on his bike. He wasn't on his bike. His bike was to the right of him, and he was holding it. He was very stiff as a board. I actually thought it was a statue. Anyway, he's standing there staring straight ahead like his eyes were really big. Staring straight ahead, and his eyes are black, completely black. I'm looking right into his face. He's not that far from me, maybe 50 feet. Skip commercial, skip ad, boop, skip ad. I was really creeped out by it. And then my window started to fog, but only my window. My windshield and back windshield and passenger seat and back seats, none of them fogged, only mine. I really don't believe in stuff like this. I don't think about the strange phenomenon. I don't read much into it, whatever. So I know that this sounds crazy, but I promise you I'm not crazy. I'm not putting this out there for attention or anything. I'm putting this out there because I'm hoping someone has a logical answer for what I saw and what these people are. Anyway, I went to work and I told a few people what happened. Maybe it was a statue. I have to take that road home at 12:30 a.m. I'm driving on the road. This would be Sunday morning, and I'm driving fast, even though the speed limit's only 35. I'm driving fast because I don't want to be on this road and glance over really quick and see this kid. Thankfully, there was no little boy. There's no statue, so it was definitely not a statue. I don't have an explanation for what he was. The thing is, though, if he was a real little boy, I'm not sure. I Googled the road thinking that maybe it was a ghost of a little boy that was killed. And the only thing I got was a man had been killed there, but he was a grown man and he had been hit by a car. It's dangerous for pedestrians on this road. Well, the one thing that I want to say about that is we know his road is very dangerous because he said it 600 times to us. But anyway, clocks go back tonight. Don't forget, guys. Thank you, Janie. But one thing, I forgot who said this last week. I think it was dude from Texas or RH. I'm not sure. California, how are you? Or maybe Andy Davis. But they said they think that black-eyed kids are from Nikola Tesla, how are you? From the times past. And I'm not sure. I think they are, though. I think maybe they traveled through a portal and I don't know. Sean, excuse me. I call you Shane again. Sean, Robert Sharp is in the comment section. He's the guy that had Rascal. Christopher, how are you? I'm glad that you're here with us. I do too, but we gain an extra hour of sleep. So maybe that's the extra hour I've been bitching about. MS, more than likely. Was it today? If it was today, I don't know. If it was a couple days, it's in my starred and saved box. Nick Hendricks, how are you? I'm very well. But anyway, so my thought is on these. Kakalina, how are you? They do. They need to go back. But if you think about it, Jessa 2.0, how are you? If you think about it, they have that weird demeanor. They have that kind of weird speech, like let us in. They're not polite, but they're almost like monotone, robotic like. So maybe they're from the future or the past, or maybe there's some kind of robot from the future or the past. Ice Age, how are you? Glad that you're back. Red Cardinal, how are you? Herman, Neck, how are you, brother? Brother Neck, Mr. Mills. Pamela, how are you? We do have androids right now. Guys, have you seen like I'm sure you guys have, but those videos of those androids are so freaky. Like that one bald chick one, she just freaks me out. Suji, how are you? Dina Russo, how are you? You know who's not here? You know, Sandhoff isn't here. Kendra, how are you? Dimensional bleed through, quite possibly. I agree with you 100%. But those androids, that chick. Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate that. Lynn Davis. Lynn Davis is the sister of Andy and fuck the other one. I'm sorry, I forgot the other Davis. But we got three Davises here. Where is Golden Member? Is Golden Member in the house? No, he's not. I know LG, you're absolutely right. They say they're going to do some real evil shit to us. And I don't like that. No, I didn't hear that someone set Bangor Walmart on fire. Spirit level 333, how are you? I appreciate that, Jerry. Thank you very much. RJ, what's up? Black-eyed kid asked me for a ride and offered me $20, and I was like, hey, $20 is $20. Fucking A, right? But he's got to be the one paying and giving. Dude, want to hear something funny? So check this out. And I probably shouldn't like take my dad out of the closet, but so me and my dad are talking, and my dad hates his neighbor. Like they're two warring old men. They war over their fucking lawns. All right. And my dad hates him. His name's Louie. And my dad's like, fuckface is out there blowing his driveway off today. He was sweeping his roof the other day. And I'm like, Dad, what does it bother you? I'm like, just go give him a hug, being a jerk. My dad goes, I'll put my dick in his mouth. And I'm like, dude, that's gay. He's like, no, it's not. He goes, if you're the one giving it in the mouth, putting it in the mouth. And I'm like, and he goes, it's macho. And I'm like, so I told my mom what he said. I said, Mom, Dad just came out of the closet. We always wondered where mom's dresses were going. I think he probably had a champagne of beer or champagne of champagne of beer, a couple of those though probably beforehand. Parents are weird, man. AWD, how are you? Dude, I'm like, what the fuck did you just say to me? Why would you say that? He goes, not if you're the one putting it in the mouth. That's macho. What? Oh, Dad. God bless you. It is crazy stuff. Crazy stuff, Rockin' Dave. I don't think he quite thought that whole statement out, though. You know what I mean? He didn't quite think it completely through. Here we go. Hang on one second. Bop. Bop. Okay. Anybody have any good things happen this week? Hey, Juno, how are you? Yeah, pretty much, Glades. He was just talking his smack. They probably get along like secretly. My dad hates this guy so much. He went out and spent like $60 on fake security cameras. You put batteries in them and they light up, and he pointed them at his house. And I'm like, dude, what is the point? I'm like, you just wasted $60. I'm like, you could buy a real camera and put it up, you jerk. Alan Howell, thank you so much, brother. Finally got approval to fix my house. Oh, pups, God bless it. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Great news. I know, Suji. I'm a broken man. Well, Dino, my dad bought like a box of them. So there's like 10 of them in there. Joanne, how are you? Stacy Brooks. I'm sorry, Stacy. Daryl, what's up, brother? And Crazy Purple Head came out instead. I'm doing well, DL. How are you? My dad probably bought him off the TikTok store. He probably called my youngest daughter. He's like, Mel, help me get these cameras. MJ, maybe clones? Yeah, that's a good one. Where I find videos, like the video clips, Jerry? Or the videos that I create? Derek Crowley, when I honestly, if I want the books out, like I don't have enough time. I literally am going to need to hire somebody to like figure it out with me and do it with me because I don't have enough time in the day to be a dad, to create content, to research, to breathe. So Ice Age, send me an email. Pups, Stargate. I'll take you up on that offer. I got to figure it out. I really do. Hey, Nick, how are you? Sorry. Me. Corey Cole, what's going on? How are you tonight? My week was interesting. Friend bought me. Oh, that's nice, Leslie. My nephew heads home the 21st of November. Oh, God. I'm glad that your nephew is doing well, though, spirit level. Speaking of nephews, Janie, how's your nephew? I really searched the internet for him, Jerry, and just waiting for the world to end. I really search the internet and look, and you know, that's the thing. Like I don't necessarily believe all the videos that I share are real. And I've debunked quite a few. I've made quite a few videos where I've actually said, guys, this video is from this video is from that. And I do that when I just get overwhelmed with people going that's a true video. But yeah, I just want to share as much. Like, I think what happens, in my head, I'm like, I'm going to share experiences, but I want to break it up with like video clips, you know? Thinker Thunker supposedly debunked that video. Nah, it's a real video. It's honestly, Thinker Thunker is not like, the guy was on the news with his wife. And there had been 4 other people on the train that corroborated his story. So there's no way that, like, there's too many people saying that that's a true video. And he's not making any money off of it. He's not famous from it. You know what I mean? Terry, he did not. Yeah, it's definitely not a dude in a suit. I was in the Marines in the 80s and Army Guard. He said it was real. Terry Mate said he said it was real. Dude, that video is real 100%. There's news agencies talking about it. And when like certain news agencies talk about it, I really tend to buy in. Larry Lemon, holy shit. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. How are you feeling? Are you feeling any better this week? I know you had the flu and you got dumped. I hope you're doing better. You know I love you, brother. And I didn't mean it to say like dumped. Dude, I'm an asshole. I can't believe I said it like that. What a dink I am. No, but I hope you're feeling better. I hope you got over the flu, because the flu is no joke, bro. And you know what? Back at work, heart transplant, 15-hour surgery. I know you love that shit, Larry. I know you love that. Dude, you love that like I love doing work on my channel. Monarch Legacy, yes. 17th. Dude, the new Godzilla movie, though, -1. The second trailer came out. Dude, I get a Woody. I was like, I get excited like that little kid. Like, ah! I got one for the record books. Big Boss, I'm going to send you my email. My email is going to be right in the chat here for you. I'd like to hear your encounter. All right, this is to Big Boss. My email is between Pup7 and Gravity Cheeseburger. I look like Beavis and Butthead right there. Dude, I get so excited. I get like new Godzillas. I used to be the kid that cried when Godzilla would get beat up. Like Godzilla was getting beat up by freaking Rodan. And I'd be like, no, he's hurting. My mom would be like, dude, you're 6 years old. Stop crying like a little baby. I'd be like, Godzilla's getting beat up. -1 looks so good, dude. Gojira. The best Godzilla movie, my favorite Godzilla movie was, it wasn't Monster Island, but they were on Monster Island. Maybe it was Monster Island. And it was when the little boy was hiding from the thieves. So in his head, he went to Monster Island and little baby Godzilla was there. And then there was the bully that was like the size of Godzilla, but he had red hair. Dude, I love that. That's my favorite one. Matthew Broderick. '98, '99. Godzilla 99. Dude, I'd have to Godzilla versus Dogman. Okay, if Toho created a Dogman the size of fucking Godzilla, that would be like the coolest. What Matthew Broderick? What? I keep saying Matthew Broderick. Matthew Broderick. What? Ferris Bueller? Yeah, we are talking Rampage, but he never fought Godzilla, and that the one in Rampage was cheesy. Oh yeah, Matthew Broderick was in Godzilla. That was the one where it didn't look like Godzilla though. It looked like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. You know what, Mark? You know what? Mothra is awesome. The tiny girl singing, dude, that's a good one, Alan. We're on point on that one, brother. What's up, Five Rings? How are you? George. I'm always happy. On Saturday nights, I'm happy. All right, here we go. Murders, monsters, demonic entities. But when I was a kid, I was just a kid in this, something that was truly terrifying. I live on a farm. Nothing scary truly really happened for the first 6 years I lived there, but then I started to notice shadow figures always in the windows running through the crops or just standing there by a beaver dam. Then I started to notice them more and more. My mom said, "You're probably just seeing stuff. It's dark outside," but I wasn't. I used to see them day and night. They kept me awake all day and all night. I'd wrap myself up in a cocoon blanket just to make me feel safe. A bit. But not even that made me feel safe anymore. I started to see more and more demonic, scary entities. One time I went hunting with one of my friends. His name was Taylor. We went hunting, and then we came back to my house for the night. My family let him stay the night. We shot a few rabbits and a few squirrels, but nothing really scary happened until the nighttime. Taylor thought it was a smart idea to go hunting in the dark, see something cool. I guess he had a night vision camera, and so we captured a few pics, and something walked up behind me. It started breathing down on me. It was tall, shadow figure right behind me. It grabs my arm, and I fell down. I started running after I got up. I feel like Taylor keeps coming, but I couldn't find him. Turns out he was on the other side of the creek and couldn't hear me. I keep running, and I see this figure just walking. Taylor couldn't catch anything on the camera because he was too busy looking at good spots to go hunting. But I couldn't sleep at all the rest of the night, knowing that something was out there. I never saw that figure ever again, so I feel more and more calm to tell around 3 years later, he started seeing shadow figures again in demonic entities. Something that looked like a puppet, but like a spider, a demon. Also, I saw something that looked like a warthog. It always just ran through the beans and corn. My adrenaline always rushed and rushed. Whenever I saw something, I always started carrying a gun or a knife on me. Luckily, I never had to use it. The town that I live in, until one day, the town that I live in one day, one of the landowners at the town decided to start digging to build something new. I don't know what. I think he uncovered a Native American body. He's into this demonic stuff. I really wasn't, because my town is very haunted. I didn't think anything of it. The only scary part in town is the school basement that was abandoned. Years went by. I don't know what this guy is saying. Years went by. I saw a shadow figure, but luckily I moved away and never heard or saw any of them again. The house I'm staying at, my dogs will start barking, so they see something. Dogs are always, I really do believe pets can see the spirit realm. Monty, how are you? John Abbott, how are you? Anastasia, how are you? RH, Nephilim versus Dogman. Nephilim, I really honestly think that, and I did a video about this, and I'm going to have a YouTube creator who does a lot of religious content on his channel be on the show here in the next week or two. And he and I were talking, and we both feel like quite possibly Dogman may be offspring of the fallen angels when they bred with animals. Brian, how are you? Hardith, how are you? You're not late. You're here with us. That's all that matters. John, why is it out of the realm of possibility they could both be flesh and blood as well? Are you talking about Dogman Glades? Well, John, no one really knows what a Dogman is. Truly, there's no expert, no matter who says they are. There's no one that is an expert. I've had people that say they've been shot, so therefore they're flesh and blood. But then there's people that say they've seen them go into a portal, so then they're interdimensional. We really don't know, and that's the sad thing about them. Absolutely. Shit. Guys, there's going to be an ad, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to miss it. I apologize for the ad. Savage Lunatic, Dogman versus vampire in real life. Are we talking about like Blade Vampire, or are we talking about like 1960s Dracula when he was wearing like the pimp suit? Elsa, how are you? Underworld Vamp? I'd really have to say Dogman. Hunters of the Paranormal. I'm not sure about that. I know I'm not, and I've been doing this. I've been researching Dogman for 30 years. So, Jerry, that's YouTube. YouTube puts ads in everything now, unless I skip them and I missed it. I just said that. So that's not on me. Does anyone think Jackie Gleason looks like Jabba the Hutt? A little bit. Yeah, Jerry, it is cool. It is cool. Does Bigfoot hang out in cemeteries? I've heard of a couple of experiences, but more or less Dogman. I got a buddy that lives in the lower eastern part of Maine, and there's a Native American burial ground out there. And supposedly people had seen like a dogman like creature out there. So yakshas, that's it. That could be. Suji, I don't control ads, so your mad face is accepted, but I don't control them, and I apologize. There's nothing I can do about it except try to skip them. But if I'm reading or talking, I can't. I got an encounter from my neck of the woods for you guys. This particular experience happened to me while I was a teenager over 15 years ago. I grew up in the Adirondacks and spent most of my childhood and teenage years camping or being outside at any capacity. 2 summers in a row, I joined a group that would travel around the rural back roads and pick up garbage. Mostly just cleanup job, usually along the roadside. Occasionally, however, we would be asked by the rangers to clean up trails or country roads where people would dump their trash in the woods. On this particular day, the group that I was with had split up and took the quadrants. We were given GPS units, however, back then, their accuracy was usually within 100 miles if you were lucky. Wasn't an issue for me as I had the most survival skills amongst everyone in the group. I had dreams of being a trail guide or forest ranger back then. However, others were uncomfortable and chose to stay closer to the main roads, which left me having to be dropped off at the end of the Forest Service road and walk my way back to the agreed pickup area. We each were given a roll of garbage bags and a poke stick to collect the trash. The area I was dropped off at was known for being one of the larger dump sites. People would drop off their old couches, chairs, even mattresses, various pieces of furniture. But someone with a flatbed truck had already come and picked that larger stuff up. All that was left were smaller items like bottles, cans, bags, papers, and that. Unfortunately, once you are in, while you would find things dumped of more darker nature, like unwanted house pets that were dispatched in an inhumane way. And on this day, I had come across a litter of puppies. I had not been given a radio, but if I had a radio, I would have called it in, and they would have come and got me at that point to keep us youths from seeing more serious things. This was not the first time I had seen things of this nature, unfortunately, so I took the time to collect the puppies, put them in a bag instead of leaving them in a pile of the other bags I had already filled, and I buried them. I dropped off my backpack with supplies and my poke stick near the road and walked into the woods with just the bag. I walked probably 20-ish minutes away from the road before I found a rather large pine tree that looked like a good resting place for these poor little guys. I put the bag at the bottom of the tree and started walking in a slow circle around the tree, searching for a stick or a rock or similar item that I could use to make a hole. I found a rather large branch that I was able to break in half and use my pocket knife I always carried to sharpen one end. I went to the back of the tree and started digging a hole. It took a while as there were several roots I had to work around. Once I dug the hole about 1.5 feet deep, I proceeded to lay my ill-gotten quarry to rest without the bag, as I didn't want to add to the trash in nature again. I took a few moments to cry and pray, honestly. Seeing abuse of any kind is always very hard. However, as I was leaving the little gifts for them, slowly covering them up, I heard a branch fall from about 50-ish feet to my left. The position I was in kept me from being able to see because of the branches in the tree. I was crouched below. I quit talking and moving and just listened for any further sounds. It was not a moment when the forest went quiet. I could still hear birds, but they were way off on the opposite side further away, which I had not noticed had changed from them being around me to them being only on one certain side in my distracted state of being swallowed up in my emotions. After sitting there for a couple minutes, quietly looking around and trying to look through the branches to my left, I didn't see anything, so I continued working. After I had completely covered them up and left several pine cones and a cool rock I had found that I kept in my pocket, I got up and started walking away. It was at that time I heard what could only be described as a moan mixed with a growl. Now, I'm in bear country and there are cougar in the area, so that was a main concern. A natural predator had smelled and came to investigate. I only had my pocket knife as any form of defense. I wasn't scared yet, as I assumed it was two trees rubbing together, maybe. That's rather common when you're in the forest. Looking around, I found nothing, but just as I was about to keep walking, I saw a branch and bark come falling down from the tree 30 yards up in a big tree. I looked up the tree, as it was only about half the size as the big pine tree, and midway up, I could see something I don't have a description for. It looked like it was brown, gray color, no obvious shape that I could describe, and probably the only size of a bear cub. Immediately, I jumped, said a bad word, and turned around and started to take several steps back, keeping my eyes on whatever this was. I could tell that it was something alive. I couldn't tell if it was something alive yet or not. When it started moving, however, I could tell that it was not something that was attached to the tree. Honestly, I couldn't tell you what I saw. It did not have fur like a bear or a mountain lion, and it wasn't just skin either. It almost looked like living moss, but as far as I know, the Adirondacks do not have sloth. And that thing did not look like any animal I had ever seen. I couldn't tell you if it had a head or face until it turned and looked at me. It did have a face, but it was kind of squished. I couldn't see its eyes or facial features other than it being dark. Excuse my lack of detail. I was around 80 feet from this thing, and it was in the tree. It was mildly cloudy that day, and if you've ever been in the woods and it's cloudy, you know the canopy isn't that great to look up in. I could tell, however, that it had 4 limbs that were wrapped around the tree. The paws were almost raccoon-like, but the claws on it were about as long as fingers. It had long rat-like tail, probably the length of its body, that would occasionally swish back and forth. I could see it poking out from behind the tree. It climbed down the tree slowly, watching me. And that's when I noticed that it had soft, rounded ears on the side of its face like a person, not an animal. It made no sound as it came down, except for light scraping of its claws. It came to a branch about 12 feet off the ground and climbed out onto it. It moved like a raccoon, honestly, but the shape of its body and rounded head with seemingly no neck was definitely not a raccoon. It wasn't even a bear or any other animal that I could think of, like a fisher, because it had no snout poking out. The face was smashed with a nose that looked like holes, not any obvious shape, vaguely like a monkey. Its eyes were lighter in color as it caught the sun occasionally, and its skin, or whatever covering it looked like, could blend into the growth on the tree or rock. It let out a low-pitched whistle, and that's when I decided I had seen enough. I glanced backwards to make sure my path was clear, turned, and pretty much ran, looking back several times. I wasn't followed, and I never saw it again, but still to this day, I wonder what that was. I told the ranger in charge of us that day what I saw, and he said, maybe a raccoon with mange. And when I said the face didn't look like a raccoon or any other animal that's local, He said, "You must be mistaken. Its face was not similar to that of a snub-nosed monkey, or its face was similar, was similar to that of a snub-nosed monkey, but the color and overall proportions and shapes were not. There are no known monkey species in North America, and it wasn't an escaped exotic pet. I don't have an answer for what I saw. It clearly was comfortable climbing trees, and still to this day, I look up when I go into the woods. I don't know any other creature or species that matches what I saw. I have spent years researching this." So, that is exactly why I look up whenever I go into the woods. I mean, I've heard of different kind of creatures that resemble that, but I don't know. Spirit level 333. It was definitely not a Wendigo. I've explained this a couple different times on the channel. So I was thinking they might have used Dogman or Werewolf too, because fine shooter in me recently. Maybe. So anyway, the Wendigo is my family. A lot of you know who've been with the channel. I have family that lives in Hogansburg, which is the Aquasachee Reservation in Donna Harmon. Thank you so much. Welcome. Which is part of the New York State, Canada Reservation, Mohawk Reservation. And there's a beautiful museum up there. And there's a painting of the Wendigo lore. And it's not physical per se. This is what the museum curator told me, who studied this for years, they said. And I actually did a sweat lodge with them. But there was 3 distinct versions of the Wendigo in this painting. One was this kind of windish mist. Other was an emaciated human being. And the third was one that I had never, ever heard of or seen. It was a large, kind of abominable snowman-like creature. Much smaller than a Bigfoot. Probably human-sized, but jacked, but hairy. And according to Mohawk lore, that's what a Wendigo is. Rockin' steady. Have a good night, brother. Have a good night. John, 10 years of direct contact. This is not science fiction. Absolutely not science fiction. Hey, what's up, John Sumner? How are you? To John, who asked Jane about if she thought Dogman is Nephilim. Once again, the thing about this is the whole science of cryptozoology is based on theory. There is no 100% answer. No one has it. No one's an expert. So, and I always say this, and it's probably, in my eyes, some of the best stuff to go off of. Take what you hear and keep all of it. And if it fits into your theory, include it. Don't throw it out if it doesn't, because in a couple of years, it may just fit. There's no expert. Tim Baker, if there were an expert, I'd say probably the closest would be Tim Baker. But other than that, no. Jody, how are you? Cosmic Shift, welcome to the membership. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. I don't throw out the window that a spirit can manifest into flesh and blood. Absolutely. Absolutely great. Look, Glades. No, Robert. I literally just shared about that. No. Well, I've seen a dog man, but that does John Stoutenberg. That doesn't make me an expert. Just because you've seen something doesn't make you an expert. It just means you saw something. I've been researching this for 30 years and I'm not an expert at any, you know what I mean? Like I'm still learning every day from you guys. I saw one. That doesn't, you know what I mean? Like just people have had experiences, you know, like you said, you had experiences with Bigfoot for 10 years. That doesn't make you an expert. It makes you, if you watched what they did and shit, you know, like let's say you watched what they did, which I'm sure you did, you therefore knew what that pod or whatever, I don't know how many you saw, let's say there was two, that you kind of know what they did. But just because those did something doesn't mean they all do. Because we hear just, there's just so many random stories that we can't put together a solid thing, you know? Absolutely, yeah. Yep. Were green and red colored. Joe Bird, what did you see? A Bigfoot? Jane was stalked by Jane. Jane's freaking Bigfoot story is like, I love her Bigfoot story. I don't know why I love it, but Gravity fucking Cheeseburger is an expert. We all know that. I got a pile, so I'm gonna go through it. Do you think they can shapeshift and go from Bigfoot to Dogman? No, Jerry. No. It'd be physically not possible. It's physically not possible. Like, think about shapeshifting. Your body structure, like, if they were flesh and blood, no. If they are interdimensional or demonic, yes. No, Joe Bird, I was asking what kind of what color, what did you see? I wasn't laughing at you. Who was laughing? I deserve your membership, Enki. Shane, have a good night. Thanks for joining us. What's your thinking on why skinwalkers look like dogmen at times? Andy Davis, what's up, brother? No, the name you don't say. Ye Nadalushi, the skinwalker. Uh, um, what? Because skinwalkers, real skinwalkers, are Navajo, and they were used. If you research a skinwalker, um, like really research it, not just cryptid versions, but really like come at it with a logical sense. Skinwalkers, Yenadalushi, originally was used in the Ute Navajo War. They were almost like their special forces. They would be warriors that would put the um, skin of another animal on, practice black magic, and go and kill the Ute using poisons and this and that. Um, and then I think throughout time, throughout time, like maybe they had figured out the shape-shifting demonic part, and that's just what they did. Sherry, how are you? Aramek, how are you? Andy Davis. Yes. What's up, Andy Davis? I'm not. Send me an email with a link, Andy. Not much, Levi. How are you? No, you got to send me the link first, Andy Davis. Email me first. Ow. All right. Aqua, how are you? You're not late, brother. You're here. You're here. It was a fast week, but we did a live stream on Halloween. Can't remember your email. It was in northern Minnesota, not Skinwalker. So Bearwalker? I don't know the name you can't say. I say all the names. I don't know. I need $20 for a lot lizard. Oh, Jesus. I'll put it in, Andy. I'm putting it in real quick. NAD. I gotta fucking say my name out loud to spell it. What a retard. At gmail.com. It's right under Glade's Creature, brother. Right under Glade's Creature. Larry, what I find interesting is that Dogman from Texas, Mississippi, Appalachia, seems to be far more aggressive than one. Very true, Werebear. Very true. They are aggressive as hell there. Especially Appalachia. The Appalachian Dogman is very aggressive, and I don't know why. No, Stargate. It's not. The reason why I say what I say is because if someone's like, I saw a skinwalker in Georgia, they saw a shapeshifter. Skinwalker is Navajo lore. You know, unless a Navajo moved to Georgia that practiced black magic, then it would be a skinwalker. Hollywood and like Reddit and creepypastas has completely confused and screwed cryptozoology up. Like the Wendigo with deer horns. That's not really what they're supposed to look like. They don't look like that. Yeah, absolutely, Cosmic Shift. Kurt, how are you? I'm going to write you a song. $20 is $20. I mean, it's so Stargate, it's still a shapeshifter, right? But it's not a skinwalker. Like the Ojibwe have the bear walker, which is their shapeshifter. I don't know the Native American name for it, but Yenadalushi is the Navajo name for the skinwalker. I would love to go to Skinwalker Ranch. I would love to go there. Absolutely, Dina. Absolutely. Skinwalker Ranch would be amazing. I'm not really sure, to be honest. Jody, have a good night, brother. What about Dulce? I'd love to go to Dulce too, but I'd be if I was able to go to Dulce, I'd want to go inside, so I'd probably get shot. You know, like if I went to Area 51, dude, and the gate opened, like I would walk in. I would be fucked, you know, because I'm just an asshole. You know, like I don't, not because I'm brave or but I'd want to go. I want to go. I want to see what's going on. You know what I mean? HD Reaper, thank you, brother or sister. With a name like that, I cannot tell the gender. So thank you, HD Reaper, for becoming a member. I truly appreciate it. Why not? Taxpayer money pays for it. You know it. Whacking Hut would light me up, man. Dad is doing well. I just shared a funny story about Dad about 20-30 minutes ago. But Dad's surgery is in 2 weeks. He's going to be in surgery on the 21st. All right. This happened a few years ago in a small town of Rocky Mount, North Carolina. I lived on a farm where from each house on the land, you could see the field as far as the eye could see. One night in particular, I will never forget, I was 12 at the time and also believed in the paranormal, but nothing like what I saw that night. It was clear, stars shining beautifully in the sky. We were having a party at my granny's house. For reference, my house and my granny's house is on the same land. Anyway, they had been drinking, and my dad asked me to walk down to the shed at our house and grab 2 of the jars of wine they had in there. So I walked down the gravel road, but suddenly everything went quiet. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Now, it's normally quiet on the farm, as it is, but still, I felt very uneasy all of a sudden. I looked out at the field and immediately found what it was. It was a tall, lengthy black figure standing in the open field. Now, we had just finished cutting wheat, so you could see out there pretty easily. I noticed that it had glowing white eyes staring right into my soul. I dashed for my house since it was closer than my grandmother's house, hearing footsteps, then something climbing over the chain link fence. Once I made it into the house, I ran in and locked the door behind me, hoping that this was a dream, praying that what I had just seen was in my mind or that was playing tricks on me. I looked and looked, but didn't see it. I found my four-wheeler right next to the shed, so I slowly went, got the jars, and got on the four-wheeler and took off to Granny's house. We moved shortly after that incident, and I thought I was never going to see it again until one night at our new house in Tennessee, me and my cousins, we'll just call them A, H, and M, were playing, hanging out in the backyard. Now, where we were is a huge backyard with woods. Then, just behind the woods are train tracks. So we're hanging out, laughing, playing. And my cousin says, I'm going to go get some ice cream. Anyone else want to come? They all got excited and went in, but I stayed out because I wasn't very hungry at the time. After they went inside, I got that familiar feeling, just like I had that night 2 years ago. I instantly started looking around when I saw it again. The same figure standing in the trees. It found me. I thought, wondering how in the world it found where I was. I ran inside. My mom asked, is everything all right? I knew no one would believe me, and I just said, yeah, everything's fine, kicking myself for not saying anything. But now, after that experience, when I go to sleep, I still get that feeling of dread and uneasiness that I had felt that night by the shed. No, I don't believe in Slender Man, pups. Slenderman's a creepypasta. That's what I mean by Reddit creepypastas in Hollywood has screwed up the for you pups has screwed up cryptozoology, because people, when they hear, hey Melissa, how are you? When people hear about like a new creature, they're like, oh my God, it's the newest thing, and it's bad. It's bad for the community, because then people start making stuff up. How much is the government involved? John Abbott, a lot. They cover up attacks. They hide, like, watch a video of mine about Cott County, Tennessee, and it's crazy. Thunderbird 100% is real, Jerry. Government knows it all, man. They have a breeding program. They hide attacks from us. They lie about the attacks. Think about all the reports that come from the newspapers about attacks, and that's controlled by the government. Tony. No, RH, not that I know of. Not that I know of. Suji, you're in my prayers. You're in my prayers. Coke doesn't suck. Coke's the best soda out there, and could be, Anastasia. Drew Blue, how are you? I do not know, Drew Blue. I have not spoken to him. The last I talked to him, he was very sick and in the hospital. TW, what did I miss? What did I miss on there? We're both TW. Tough acting, Tenactin. Ooh, a sliver of glass. That's not good. Alan Howell. Thank you, brother. When you do watch Cott County, Tennessee one, please also watch the one with the sled dog. Terry, I got to disagree with you. I got to disagree. And Keith, thank you. Benjamin Dean, I'd have to agree with you there. No soda. I've never had Mexican Coke, but I can tell you Mexican Coke or any other Coke does not compare to lime Coke out of the machine. Lime Coke is the greatest Coke on earth. I would sell my children for a lime Coke. And if they're listening right now, I'm kidding. Caden, shame on you, Caden. I've got tea going on right here. I've got a hot tea going on. Nice. I'm teabagging. I'm teabagging. Ha ha. Chinese Coke. Ugh. Savage, I do have a couple. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go, John, I do believe they did. John Stutenberg. I do believe they did, to be honest with you. And I'll tell you guys why in a second. PH, the Michigan folks, it's a fraud. It's a hoax. The guy's a hoax. He's a TikToker. He may have had something going on initially, but he got a little bit of fame and he created all that other bullshit. And he's in it for the money. That's it. That's my own opinion, though. I might be wrong. What's up, Yono? How are you? And I'll tell you why, PHA, is because when I used to share his videos, I would include his link to his TikTok. And then I reached out to him. I said, I'd like to have you on the show, yada, yada. He said, yeah, sure. And then like a day later, he hit me with a copyright strike. So I had to take the video down, which was fine with me. It's just, I really honestly think that initially when his chicken coop and him and his son were on the snowmobile, shit was going on in the very beginning, because you could see the tracks, and like, he doesn't strike me as being the smartest or the sharpest tool in the shed. But when they went to that tree and they looked up, he looked up. You don't look up if nothing's there. And also that second night when he caught the eye shine, after that, everything was kind of like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And I might be wrong. I may be wrong. Rubes Ramirez. John, have a good night, brother. Have a good night. Oh, John, stick around for 1 second. Why I think they poisoned Victor. I was talking to Victor one night. We were talking about doing a show. This is about a year and a half ago. He was fine. He was in good spirits like I am right now. Next thing you know, I don't get a call from him. About a week goes by and I get a call from his son. And his son's like, my dad's in the hospital, yada, yada, yada. Excuse me. I think about things and he's like, there's a Marine outside of my dad's hospital door. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, they must have poisoned him, because then after that night, his kidneys started to fail. And that's truly what I do. I truly 100% believe that they poisoned him to shut him up. That's just my, you know what I mean? But I really do feel like that. Shane from New Zealand, how are you? The Stargate, I think so. I do agree. I agree. Savage Lunatic, best tea bag? Well, if there's $20 involved, I'd have to say Bigfoot, because he doesn't have a snout. You couldn't get the okay, so here's Bigfoot's mouth, right? Dogman would be like, I just spilled fucking tea all over myself. Well, you saw how it would be, so no good. Daryl Williams from Taylor, Mississippi. There is some crazy shit there, brother. Give the email one. Oh, you need my email again? Black Rifle Coffee or water for me. Not a big fan of Black Rifle Coffee. It's very bitter. Stargate, thank you very much. I appreciate you, brother. back. So HD Reaper, if you're a coffee drinker, there's a coffee that's from Ethiopia. It's called there's a company that makes it, but it's Black Stag Ethiopian. But then there's an actual company that you can go online and order it, and it's the least bitterest flavored coffee I've ever had. It's very good. Try it out. John, 100%, brother. 100%. Hey, Jeff, any Dogman portal stories? I don't. I've got a couple that I'm going to go through. I've shared about 4 already, so I'm taking a few minutes. Yeah, Hardith, that interview really sounded a lot like what Victor was talking about, didn't it? It almost clashed with everything that was said on my channel, which was kind of funny. They did go woke. They did go a little woke. Matt is funny. He's a funny dude. But they did go woke a little bit. TW, I don't know, brother. I really don't know. It's from civets, Terry. It's some kind of civet eats the coffee bean and shits it out. It was garbage, Jane. It was exactly everything she said was on my that Victor talked about. They make a Bigfoot coffee. I saw that. I'll send you the link later, though. I promise, Jane. But it literally, I watched it because someone sent it to me, and I was like, everything she said was like word for Victor, and I'm like, what the hell? Puma Poo coffee. Yeah, exactly, Hardith. I do. I'm not discrediting her. She's a very smart woman. Very smart woman. I'm not trying to discredit her. I'm just saying a lot of it sounded exactly what Kirk. I don't know if he's still alive. I don't know. I've said it 100 times tonight. Honestly, I don't know, brother. I promise. Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee is good. I don't know if you get it from Jamaica, if you can get the real shit. Huh? You can get the real shit from Jamaica. Linda's following me? Teresa Wilkins, have a wonderful night. Bless. Dale, what's up? Views? I don't know. It just really seemed very, very kind of weird. Sumatra. Yeah, Sumatra. The civets. I bought some once. Actually, no, I got a free sample of it. I was not going to spend fucking $100 for like a cup of coffee, but I got a free sample. They sent me like 6 beans, and I'm like, what the shit is this? Exactly what it was. But I ground it up, and I was honestly a little afraid if I was going to get like Ebola or something. But it didn't taste that good. It didn't taste like anything else. It was like Stewart's or Cumberland Farms coffee. Kurt, I'm right here, brother. I'm right here. Kona coffee. Yeah, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Why do you want cat poop? Simone, I don't know. The rich people like it. They love drinking, and it's not cats, they're civets. But they drink it, and they like it. It's dried. It's roasted to like 180 degrees. Boyd's Highlander Grog. If I drink coffee, I have to drink it black. Because I can't have, if I add sweetener, if I add like sugar or something. Darren Williams, thank you, brother. Appreciate the support. It's made with, dude, TW, do you remember when I had the Chuck Norris water? Just water. Proud supporter of Jeff Nadolny. I bought the Chuck Norris water. I bought a case of it. Just because it was Chuck Norris, dude. You have to. They're like, the thing was like, found on his ranch in Texas. Chuck Norris bottled up the tears from God after he kicked the crap out of him or something like that. I was like, what the hell? Not much, brother. Not much, Dale. What about the dry water? I don't know about dry water. I don't like water. I'm only drinking this because I get free water from these guys. This is my prompt. A Green Mountain coffee is piss. More than creepy pasta. Chuck Norris water, did it have hair in it? Some chest hair, I believe. I believe each bottle of Chuck Norris water was bottled with a piece of his chest hair. You just add water. I get. So these guys are from my town, and it's owned by Will Smith. And it's bottled in my town. And they contacted me and asked me if I'd show you guys my water periodically. About a year ago they did. And that's why every once in a while you see me drink it. But I give it to my kids. It was filtered through his chest hair. And if you're really lucky, you can get it filtered through his nut hair. And that supposedly is the best Chuck Norris water ever made. Ever made. I wouldn't doubt that, Larry. LaBelle? Looking for an encounter. All right. Bigfoot encounter, sleep paralysis encounter, or strange creature on a reservation encounter. You got 3. Bigfoot, sleep paralysis, or creature on reservation. Y'all pick. Chuck's duck butter. I'm part Squatch. Reservation, Bigfoot, sleep paralysis. Oh, reservation, Bigfoot. All right, reservation 1. 59th survivor of VHS 1. Here we go. This experience is one of many things I encountered growing up. You see, I'm from the Navajo Nation, and my culture is full of superstitions. Especially living in a rural area, you will definitely encounter something at night if you provoke it. Many of you have heard the stories where you don't whistle at night or speak of its name known as the Skinwalker. Well, even typing it makes me feel uncomfortable. This goes back to 6 or 7 years ago when I was in high school, during my junior year, I believe. I would occasionally drive to the school or take the bus while my mom would take the second vehicle for other occasions. And at the time, my dad had moved in with us because of his health condition, loss of eyesight, and most common with natives, diabetes. So it was just the 3 of us living there. Before I start sharing, I want to tell you an important layout of the house. We had 3 rooms, 1 bathroom, and a big entrance leading to the kitchen and living room. So 3 bedrooms, a bathroom, a big entrance leading to the kitchen from the living room. My room was next to my mom's, where our windows were facing the direction of the sunset. The cars were parked outside, so it was easy to look out. My dad's room was facing the east side with 2 windows in that direction. Also, the bathroom is to his room, which means it's across from my room on the other note. This house was made by my great-grandparents. That is made out of cement and was passed on to us. For the next 3 nights would be the most heart-changing experience. On the first night, I had gone to bed early since I had to catch the bus. Sometime around 3 a.m, I woke up to someone wailing outside of the house, almost sounding like the witch from Left 4 Dead, the game. Honestly, I was tired and didn't pay attention to it any longer and fell asleep. Woke up in the morning wondering what I had heard was real or not. I still carried on the day with normal. Came back from school, went home, saw my dad in his room listening to the TV. He had lost his vision. The only thing he can see is shadows. Still in the back of my head, I wonder what I heard as I sat in the living room watching movies till it got dark. Then I went to bed again, woke up to the same wailing sound. This time, I was wide awake lying in bed, where the same sound was just outside of my window. Even though my window was covered, I couldn't get up to move because I was frozen in fear, like something telling me not to go outside or look through the window. I just laid in bed thinking about my parents if they heard the sound too. My dad is always awake at night since he can't do much, so I'm not sure at the time if he had. For my mom, she sleeps normally like a bear in hibernation, even with the windows not being covered. The dogs were quiet usually. They would be barking, chasing after something, but it was dead quiet besides that wailing sound. I tried to go back to sleep, as I did, but the sound did not stop for who knows how many hours. Once it was early morning, I had to get up and get ready for school, still questioning what had happened. I got ready to head to the bus, stopped, still not wanting to take the car for some odd reason. I finally got done with school, came back home. Mom was heading to hang out with my auntie, and apparently they were about to take the car, but as my auntie had sat in the passenger seat, happened to step on the floor mat feeling lumpy, she removed her footing as she grabbed the mat and discovered animal bone with no remnant on it, just the bone itself. I found that odd because the door is always locked and no one uses the car except my family. Only thing I could think of was that wailing sound, whatever it was. Must have opened the car somehow, but I thought to myself, sat there thinking, ask Mom who it was, but she couldn't think either until I told her what I had heard. She didn't say much, but just pushed it off like it didn't happen, while my auntie thought it was weird too. And I think she had her own opinion, but I don't remember much about that. As the day went on, hit night, nothing happened. This time, instead, I decided to take the car for some reason. I had an interaction with a friend of mine at school who asked if she could borrow the car since she had to go to the hospital and visit her mom. Knowing me, I'm nice enough. I say yes because I feel bad. And as she took the car keys from me, this weird feeling I had got that I wished I had listened to was something I regret to this day. Hours passed by and I came to find they had gotten into a car accident that was almost life-threatening, where the person had T-boned them, causing the other vehicle to crush the driver's side, only ending with stitches, where it was okay, thank goodness. The gut feeling I had that day, forgetting what those nights might have been leading up to whoever would have taken the car unknowingly, what was to come, even me. I called my mom to be scolded on the phone, even as I had gotten home telling my dad what happened, trying to comfort the guilt of handing the keys over. My dad had talked to me for hours that night, with my mom still on her way home from work. I asked my dad if he had heard the wailing sound outside of the windows the night before, as he is sort of traditional. He knew for a fact that the incident was not my fault. In fact, he believes that thing was at fault trying to hurt whoever was going to use the vehicle. The next morning, got up early on Saturday morning because the sun had gotten up to do prayer to the east and west with a cup of water as we anointed ourselves and drank it. To this day, I'm glad whatever that feeling was, not looked outside, it saved my life. My dad helped me get through it. Rest in peace, Dad. So, Skinwalker. Now, if you research traditional skinwalkers, like I said in the Ute Navajo Wars, apparently the skinwalker would crawl on the Utes' home, not a longhouse, I forget what they were called, and they would drop poisons into the home to poison them. So they used black magic, put the bone in the car. Done, son. Who's going to bed? TW's going to bed? Night, TW. Simone, who are you talking about? Oh, Jesus, Suji, that's scary. Silver Fox, how are you? Sleep paralysis. Oh, the hag. Oh, God, I just got goose. Ugh. I got goose pimples. Damn. Ugh. Yeah, the hag. That's scary shit, dude. Or dudette. I don't know, man. I'd try to kiss her. I'd be like, she'd be like, get the fuck away from me, Jeff. No new books, MS. I'd be like, you want a tea bag, baby? You guys remember Christ gave you the authority? Andy Davis, I agree. Daddy needs that PlayStation 5. I know the hag might try to milk the old prostate. I'll be like, no, baby. Yeah, you can't be scared of these. I mean, it's healthy to have a fear of them. It is healthy. But to live in fear of these things, it's, like, yes, we know that there's a higher power, that God is there watching over us. So if there is a God, then there is evil. But we can't live in fear of the evil, because then we're not living. We're just idiots at that point. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying we're idiots, but if we choose to take that fear in, Jeff, hell of a day when the old hag says $29 is $20. I know, man. I'd have to fucking give an extra $1 to the bitch. Exactly. Not a permanent phobia. Have you had any encounters with the men in black? No, I have not. Thank God. Minus the van, that government van that followed me and Belle. Oculus, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Glades, agree, 100%. 100%. Like, it's healthy to have a fear. It's healthy. But, those people that, like, I don't want to go outside or in the woods because, Yeah, Hardith. So I sent the pit. I actually put it in the community. And then when I did, I got a bunch of trolls who like trolled me out on it. So my town where I live, Hardith, is very small. It's the foothills of the Adirondacks. It's a cheesy town. So me and Belle are heading. We were heading somewhere. We were going driving. I take my daughter driving. There's this like little location that I bring her and she can drive the car. She just goes back and forth down the road. Um, but I'm driving down the road and Belle and I are talking, and this guy is riding my ass. It's like a caravan, or not a caravan, a convoy van. What is it? Conversion van. And it's a gray conversion van, and it's riding my ass. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? You know, you've been riding my ass for 2 miles. So I pull over to let it pass. And as it passes, it goes real slow. And then I get behind it and I end up, I have my phone prepped right here. And Andy, send me the email. I got, is San here? San off here? So anyway, I get behind the van, right? And the van has a government plate on it that says US government 2723X is the plate number. And I'm like, what the hell? So, and then it just busted out. I got your email, but there was no link in it, brother. You didn't give me the link. Oh, Stargate. Ha ha. Very true. Very true. But that van was really fucked up. I remember that story about the mall man who kind of paper thin. Oh yeah, AWD. Yeah, that was crazy. Definitely not an ice cream man truck. Definitely not. Andy, you're all good, brother. Following is a scare. Dude, they were right on my ass. Like they were riding my ass. And I'm like, what the hell? And then when I took the picture, because I have my phone like right there, and I don't have it there to take pictures. I just have it there so like I can see it because I usually watch movies when I drive. um, I took the picture and I'm like, Belle, that's a government van, bud. And then the van like turned and I just went the other way. And I'm like, nope. Andy. Pup 7, have a good night. Great news on the house. Great news. I'm so happy for you. I hope they do the work fast. Yeah, that is a crazy story. It's definitely a crazy story, AWD. Pups is going to bed. Good night, pups. So anyway, today when I was up where Tom Mezek, why do you think Dogman howl sounds like a woman screaming? I don't know. That's a good question. Do it yourself, RC. That's a really good question. I honestly, for some reason, I don't think that. Thanks, Tammy. I was actually there today. I don't think that it is the Dogman that howls like that. I think their howl is like a different screaming pitch. Um, I don't know. I know it sounds like high pitched with a guttural. Um, but I think like the crawler sounds more like a woman, if you ask me. Yeah, to lure us out. Yeah, yeah. Like when people hear babies crying in the woods, what do you want to do? You want to go to the woods, right? You want to run right into the woods and see if there's a baby out there. So very true, Terry. Ugh. Yeah. Robert, yeah. Gravity, I think I did already. You want me to get Tigger? Hang on. Boy. Here, buddy. Here. I had to wake him up. Boy. Hey, boy. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Say hi to everybody. Say hi. Oh, good boy, huh? Good boy. Yeah. He's a good boy. Joe, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. He's my buddy. He's my best friend. I last night he sleeps. You want to hear something really weird that he does? So right next to my bed, I have a cross that my mom got me for Christmas. And the wood is made from like an olive tree. And it was made like I believe it was made in Jerusalem. And it's got like mercury or not mercury, it's got whatever, the three kind of whatever. And I can't think right now. But anyway, he lays right next to the cross and he stares at it for a few minutes before he falls asleep, right? And it's so weird. So then he'll just plop right down right next to the right next to the right next to the cross. And last night I opened the blinds in the living room, and because he's been laying on the couch lately, and he didn't come in, and I missed him. But it's so weird that he lays right next to the cross and looks at it. What am I feeding him? He eats dry food, and he eats Fancy Feast dry food, and he eats, the Sheba wet food. He eats that. Maybe Stargate. Maybe he senses something. He's good. He's a good boy. Hey, Candy Wolf, how are you? Jeff feeds him the subscriber. I'm the only Dogman channel that has a cat for a mascot. See, look at him. He's just staring off into outer space right now. He's such a good boy, huh? I weighed him the other night. And he's quite chubby. He's quite chubby boy. He is handsome. So anyway, when I went up there where Tom Mezek disappeared, it was weird because I was walking up the trail and it was really kind of lively most of the way up the trail, right? And then I get to where I've never been and it's dead quiet. Dead quiet. Huh. Yeah. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. He's very smart. Study the recording frequency of recording. Yeah. He loves Shiba. Dude, I didn't, like, I never fed him Shiba before, right? All of a sudden, I get him the Shiba shit where you got to crack the plastic thing, and he won't eat anything other than. He won't eat anything. Oh, Rose Holt, thank you so much. I love Rose. I have an 80-pound Siberian Husky that would in my lap if he could. Tigger's only 40 pounds less than your Siberian Husky, TJ. I make my own dog food. What do you use? All right, here we go. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be good. He'll probably bite my hand because I'll stop petting him in a second. Oh, you cocksucker. I grew up in Nepal most of the 23 years of my life. I'm from a town called Pokhara. I used to live with my grandparents, my uncle, my aunt, and my cousins. I always slept with my grandma, but on summer nights where we didn't have an AC, I would sleep in the living room on a small, long bed since the room was much cooler. The house was a ranch style, so all of the bedrooms were on the same floor, right next to each other, with the living room. Kitchen was outside of the house. I went to bed that night in the living room and woke up at 3. The clock was right across the room, and I could see the clock from the lights outside. Our clock was also on top of the room, right below the ceilings. So I looked where the light didn't reach, and I saw a dark figure standing there in the shadow with a round hat on. My first thought immediately was my grandfather, and I was wondering why he's standing in the middle of the room with a hat on. The hat I had never seen him wear. I looked at the hat man for quite some time, and it was not moving. As I stared at it, I started getting chills. Then I realized that's definitely not my grandfather. I hid under the bed and was breathing heavily for a few minutes and went back up to see if the figure was gone, but he was still there. I went back under the blanket again and made myself think that it was Grandpa, and my overthinking to make myself let go of the fear and fell back to sleep. I'd never seen the Hat Man again in my life. Hopefully I don't. My second encounter isn't really like an encounter because it's more of a dream, I guess. I was also sleeping in the same area in the living room. I had really bad dreams, which I had frequently when I was younger. In this dream, I was exactly where I was sleeping. I had heard screaming in my dreams, and 5 to 6 witches came toward me, were screaming and yelling at me, saying, "We're going to get you." I remember they came close to my face fast and went back into position. I was crying in my dream, and these witches were laughing. I woke up crying in my sleep, and I went into my grandma's room and slept because I was very spooked. Third encounter. This is sleep paralysis / out of body experience. but it happened when I was 21 years old. I had never had sleep paralysis in my life, but would always wonder what it was because everyone talked about it. So now I'm in New Jersey. I went to school in Bergen County, not going to name here private for privacy reasons. I lived 45 minutes away from my school. With traffic, it ended up to being an hour. Being full-time nursing student, I was up studying all night for a couple of nights in a row because I had exams back to back. So I'm falling asleep on my commute in the morning because I would be up all night. So this week I decided to stay in a hotel near the school so I could avoid the commute and get some sleep. I finished school, went to the hotel. The hotel wasn't the best hotel since it was not a 5-star, but because of my budget, I just needed a place to stay. That was it. I checked in and the vibes were just kind of off. Maybe because this was like the end of February 2020 and COVID was just starting to hit the fan. I stayed up late, like always, and went to bed at 2:33 a.m. Since this was also my first time staying in a hotel, I was very cautious. It's now around 2:33 and I'm preparing for bed. When you enter the hotel, the light by the door, I kept them on and turned off the light by my bed. I woke up soon, maybe an hour after sleep. I wake up and my eyes are looking straight to the lights, so the room is not pitch black. I sleep on my left side while being awake, but I try to move and I can't, which freaked me out because I was paralyzed. I tried screaming and calling out for help, but I couldn't move my mouth. I tried grabbing my phone next to me and couldn't reach for that. So, I'm sleep paralyzed, but I had this sense of doom and I was getting chills. I felt like someone was beside me, looking at me very closely. And after struggling for a couple of minutes lying there, I suddenly felt something on top of me. I could see from the corner of my right eye a shadowy figure, not a pitch black shadow, but a grayish shadow, almost like how you'd imagine a soul to look like, kind of transparent, but gray. I feel then grab my right arm as they're on top of me. I'm lying down on my left side. I could feel and see them squatting on top of me, ready to snatch me and pull me, I guess my soul out. I'm not even sure, but I remember them pulling me and I could feel myself coming out of my body, which felt like an out-of-body experience. Since when the shadow pulled me, my body was still lying in the same position. Also, like my soul or whatever of myself was seeing myself lying there, half in my body, half out. And I just remember in that moment, I fought hard not to let go of my body and stay inside. It's hard to explain because I don't know if I was having astral projections, but was still in my body and someone was trying to kill my soul. I had never ever heard that, but I can't explain exactly what really happened. I had never in my life done astral projecting or even tried or even had sleep paralysis. I'm not a believer in God, but at that moment I was praying my ass off and shaking in fear. I was pretty much also yelling at the shadow in my mind to get off of me. A few minutes of that was gone. I can move, and I'm not sure if it was a dream because it seemed very real. I grabbed my phone and called my mom in the middle of the night to calm myself down, and I still had a few more hours before class. It was around 4 at that point. I tried so hard not to fall asleep because I was scared it'd happen again. I don't know if this was because of being sleep deprived or the hotel itself was a negative energy. I've had about 3 sleep paralysis, but fortunately all happens is just me not being able to move. No shadow figure grabbing me or anything. I still get a creepy feeling out of it. On a note, since I'm a nurse and I started working night shift, the first 6 months at nursing home, the elevators would randomly open and close, go up and down, which was located in front of the nurses' station. One patient died in the room earlier that day, around 3 or 4. The call bell went off on the wall. Same room the patient died. I went in to check. There was nobody there. Small stuff like this would happen. I don't know if I'm sensitive or not, since only 4 encounters I've had so far, and I'm 23. Melissa Davis, thank you so much. Guys, so I would say that was definitely sleep paralysis, even though they didn't see the hag, but they felt something grab them. And we hear that hag wants to like take stuff, it was obviously, can you imagine how freaking scary that would be? Little Horse Reynolds, how are you? Can you imagine like you're having a sleep paralysis moment? You're lying there and you can only see like a shadow figure, but then you feel like this pain in your soul. You wake, you're like, fuck. That's scary, man. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. There is no such thing as an atheist in a foxhole. That was my thought right there. Exactly. She better find Jesus. I was like, you know what? You probably wouldn't be having this experience if you just prayed to Jesus or prayed to the, said the Lord's Prayer, had some faith. I don't know how people don't have faith. It's, and people who don't have faith, I don't blame them. But, it's always it's always a good idea to believe in something better than yourself. You know what I mean? Melissa Davis, thank you again so much for becoming a member. I appreciate that. You don't have faith, you're an idiot, if you ask me. That's creepy, Joe. That is creepy. And I'm not downing anybody. So please, if there's any atheists out there, don't hate me for what I just said. I'm just saying, like, even if you, like, Native Americans, like, I used to only believe in the Great Spirit, to be honest with you. But then I literally, after talking for years with James Dark Waters, turned my life over to Christ. And I still believe in a great spirit, but that's God with his son Jesus. Like even if an atheist can't grasp the concept of Jesus and the Trinity, let's say they can't, okay? Or if you're Jewish or Muslim or whatever, you're just straight atheist. Dude, just believe in something bigger than yourself, because we are not here just as a random fucking like occurrence. We didn't randomly just fucking exist, This is much too complex. And if those atheists believe in evil, in spirits and ghosts and cryptids and this and that, then how don't they believe in God? Because there's always a yin to the yang, a yang to the yin, a ding to the dong. Thomas Anderson, there's a very good upload that I did called, the title is Scientific Proof. And if you listen to it, that question that you answered is right there, to be honest with you. Fancy Feast gravy lovers, dude, that's what Tigger used to love, but now he doesn't. He doesn't at all. Jane, do you remember that with the cavemen upload? The guy, Nick Van Drimini, talks about them having vertically aligned. Hang on a second. Here we go. So this is actually every human culture has believed in the existence of other beings, monstrous humanoids, sapient but inhuman. They have gone by different names: boogeyman, bugbear, cyclops, giant, Jotun, ogre, Oni, troll, yeti, Bigfoot, dogman, and more. But they are always feared, lurkers of the shadows, threats to the clan, tribe, or hearth. Dungeons and Dragons didn't create these monsters, and despite ongoing controversies, they don't represent anything modern. Humanity's legendary heroes have been fighting these monsters since time immemorial. The real question is why? Why does every civilization have similar myths? Why does every culture have legends of monstrous humanoids? Why are they always depicted as fearsome and dangerous? Because legends are real. Dogmen, Bigfoot, and these creatures are real. Danny Van Drimini, in his book, Them and Us, How Neanderthal Predation Created Modern Humans. And then he goes on to explain what they have and why they have it. Hang on, let me find it. The Neanderthal that Vendrimini describes is thus a terrifying creature, a hunched cannibalistic predator with large, shining eyes, an animalistic snout, covered in thick fur and massive muscles built for close combat, hunting by night with a brutish guttural voice, and a huge mouth with huge teeth and powerful jaws. The Neanderthal did not look like Fred Flintstone. Neanderthal skulls were extremely large eye sockets, suggesting they had large eyes. Van Drimini suggests that the Neanderthals had vertically aligned slit pupils, which enabled them to use the full diameter of the lens in low light, while shutting out bright light by day. Nocturnal primates, such as the rhesus monkey and the owl monkey, all have large eyes with vertically aligned slit pupils. Van Drimini suggests Neanderthals also had a tapetum lucidum, like cats, that make their eyes shine in the dark, and had a dark sclerilla, like other primates. This book is unbelievable. So that answered Thomas's question. I do believe so. And this, if you guys really want a good read, go and get this book. It's on. You can get it on Amazon. You can buy the physical. You literally, it blew me away. It literally, I was like, what the fuck am I reading? Because he was not talking like, I thought he was just going to be talking like, about Neanderthal, which I like. I like reading about stuff like that. I have, I get a National Geographic once a month. But the book really opened my eyes to, holy shit, we might have been fighting dogmen and Bigfoot, all of, like, Denisovians may have, like, I get excited. I get way too excited. Hey, Jamie, how are you? I don't know if they have slit pupils, if horses do. Horses once ate meat? Yee. "100%, little horse. 100%. I just chose to, I really never. I didn't feel like I was doing something diabolical when I said at the end of every video, may the Great Spirit watch over us and guide us through our path of life. That was just like saying, God bless you. God bless you all, you know? But I also never wore a cross and never felt like I had something guarding me when I was saying that either. Now I do. Yeah, I don't know that picture. You know what else is really cool? Where is it? Where the fuck is that book? Where the fuck is it? Hang on, guys. I gotta find this book. I want to read this one thing for you. Ah, here it is. All right. So this book is, I don't know if you can see it. The Early History of Jackson County, Georgia. The writings of the late G.J.N. Wilson, embracing some of the early history of Jackson County, the first settlers in 1784, formations and boundaries to present time, records of the Tallahassee County struggles. So this book is all like historic township book, you know what I mean? Like this is not fiction, this is nonfiction. And in this page, they talk about a dog man. Let me just find it. Hang on. Sorry, guys. Grieved himself, 2 young ones, rat tail. All right, here it is. The howl of the savage and always hungry wolf, the spring of the stealthy panther. Here it is. While the wolves and panthers and bear gave the first white settlers of this part of the county much trouble, still another animal whose existence has often been disputed inspired those who profess to have seen him with more fear than all the others combined. It was the wog, W-O-G, not wogue, as it has sometimes been called. Many of the people who first lived at and for several miles around Old Jug Tavern from its first settlement to about 1809 claimed to have seen him at their houses. As a character of the people who first lived to be shown in narrative progressor, the wog was said to have jet black, long hair animal the size of a small horse. His legs were shorter than the front. This gave him the appearance of being a huge dog sitting on its tail, sometimes said to walk on its back legs. His tail was very large. Whether sitting, standing, or walking, its tail was a curious appendage, sometimes turned upwards. Most distinguishing feature, they talk about the tail. His great red eyes were very repulsive, but not so much as his forked tongue and pronged teeth, of which were supposed to be 8 inches long. The real meanest feature about the beast was his bear-like head, containing a set of great white teeth over which his ugly lips enclosed. So this book is like documented. This was like written in the town's like historical whatever. And I was like, I found it one night and I'm like, wait, what the fuck am I reading? pretty crazy stuff. Hey, Susie, how are you? I bought this on Amazon. It's called The Early History. This is for Susie Smith. I don't have a link, but if you type in Early History of Jackson County, Georgia, the writings of late G.J.N. Wilson. I would type in G.J.N. Wilson, Jackson County, Georgia writings, and you should be able to find the book. Those are two good books that you guys should check out. Really, really good books. Glades, have a wonderful evening. Thank you for joining us. It is crazy, Gigi. And how I found it was even weirder. I had been watching like a TED talk or something, and the guy had mentioned the book, and he had mentioned how there was a brief mention of a large canine that used to like haunt this town. And I'm like, what? And I bought the book not knowing what else was in it. And it's only mentioned in 2 pages of the book, but the rest is historic shit. This is my first live chat. Hey, Heather, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Absolutely, Thomas. Never seen The Lord of the Rings. What's up, Mr. D? Thank you, AWD. That's awesome. WOG. It's WOG, Terry. WOG. What was the name of the first book? It was written by Danny Van Drimini. Vendramini. And the book is called Them and Us: How Neanderthal Predation Created Modern Humans. An amazing book, TJ. Amazing book. Just from the first, couple of, they literally talk about, someone mentioned Lord of the Rings. These include Neanderthal, Denisovians, the Hobbit, and several recently discovered uncategorized species, such as the Nasher Ramla Homo in Israel. A new human species are being discovered all the time. Like, literally, they're discovering new species daily. Heather, Victor and William are the same person. When he first came on the show, Libra, hey! When he first came on the show, he didn't want to share his real name. He wasn't sure what was going to go on. Never seen Lord of the Rings, but I'm going to check it out sometime. Someone mentioned Black Sabbath, great band. Abby, my oldest daughter, loves Black Sabbath. Good night, doggies, and our champion dog catch. Rose, thank you for joining us tonight. God bless you. Craig, thank you, brother. He will bite. He bites nut sacks. Nut sacks. What's up, Lori? How are you? I see you, Libra. I see your new profile pic. I can't believe San Hoff isn't here tonight. I am super pissed at last week's live stream. We thank God, knock on wood, we have not had any trolls tonight. Sunny Hat Phil, how are you? I've heard the new AI powered Beatles song. I think I heard a mention of it, actually. I did hear mention of that. I'll have to check them out. I never read Lord of the Rings ever. Yeah, Libra did change her pick. Very, very good perception there, Caden. Caden, are you hungry? Robert, have a lovely evening. Thank you for joining us. Robot Beatles, I don't trust that. Dude, I don't trust the Beatles at all. Any dude who would sleep with Yoko Ono has got to be crazy, right? Who gave you shit, Janie? Oh, the trolls last week. Yeah, now I get it. I was researching for a book and found a surviving that southern traveled through Minnesota encountering unusually large wolves that did not behave like ordinary wolves. What book was that? That's a good song. That's a good song. Sabbath into the Void. I like that song. Want to see my new knife? Got a new knife. Oh, yeah. Carbon fiber, lightweight. When I'm hiking, Dogman comes at me. Right in the ball sack. Into the nut sack. Yeah, it's a Benchmade. 18 and life get started. 18 and life to go. I'm Ricky. Warriors! Where are you, warriors? Candy, if it's a woman, I'm stabbing her in it. If it's a woman dog, man, I'm getting it in the taint. To taint, that's special. Beach ball sack. Dude, like that guy from Connecticut, the bus driver. Thanks, HD Reaper. The bus driver's like, the nuts were the size of a basketball. I was like, how the fuck is that motherfucker sit down? He's playing on those balls that we used to have when we were kids. Remember the handles? I do. I want to get a crossbow. Actually, I'd like to have a crossbow. That's not a knife. This is a knife. Warriors. Dude, the director's cut is awesome. I hadn't seen the Warriors since I was like 15 years old, and I watched it the other night. I was like, oh yeah. Why do we love Dogman so much? Heather, I will tell you why. I think the reason why is because it's instilled for the same reason that book, Them and Us, why Neanderthal created humanity, is because we've fought them time immemorial, like it said. And our brains just think about when you're a child, when you're a young kid, and you haven't seen a bad scary movie. You haven't like, your cousins or your brother and sister haven't filled your head with garbage, and you have a bad dream. It's always about some huge hairy monster. And I think that's just our psyche reminding us, hey, these fuckers are out there. Jane and her flamethrower. Libra, what kind of crossbow are you getting? What's up, Guardian? How are you? Is that Moose? Moose Knuckle Johnson. I love that fucking name, man. Anything terrifying intrigues you? Yeah. Boy Who Cried Wolf. Like, think about like Red Riding Hood. Red Riding Hood is about a fucking dog man. You know? Like all of civilization and all of humanity has talked about these creatures throughout all our lives. Crazy Backyard Chicken Man. Ooh, Exorcist. Let me know. Let me know what you get. I have that Stargate. Yeah, I do. I remember that. There's some really good cave drawings that that were found in Peru, and National Geographic had talked about it in one of the books. Chud was the first movie that I ever saw that scared me. Chud scared the living bejesuses out of me. You know, that just Stargate just sent me an email, and that really if you look at the demon from The Exorcist, Pazuzu, it almost looks like it has a muzzle. Dina, the cave drawings were of canine-like bipedal creatures. Chud freaked me out. Chud shouldn't have been on HBO when I was freaking 7 years old. You know? Like, I was looking for like Young Lady Chatterley, and I came across Chud. You know, that messes you up, dude. I was like looking for boobies, and all of a sudden I see Chud on my TV, and I'm like, where the painting? I looked them up. I don't have the link now. RH. Yeah, no Nino. Where is Nino? Puma Pete, you never want to see. Ever want to see a dog man, brother. Young Lady Chatterley meets Chud. Ooh, wouldn't that be a porn to watch? Legend of Boggy Creek meets Young Lady Chatterley. In the comments of one of your more recent comments, I read a crazy comment from someone saying they witnessed a man turning into a dog man from Quiet Back Road. Her and her friends started to drive fast. Huh. I didn't read that. Jeff, have you ever seen Brotherhood of the Wolf? No, I haven't. No. The Hills Have Eyes. Hills Have Eyes is freaky. Hills Have Eyes. There was a guy that I forget. It was a subscriber who had sent me an email, and he had shared his experience with us. And him and his girlfriend were driving, and it reminded me of the movie. They were driving into the wood or desert area, and they came across like this trailer, this abandoned, like ramshacked trailer. It didn't even have like a roof. And they saw like this crawler like creature under the thing. Yeah, Hills Have Eyes is 100% true. The 13th Warrior. Ooh, that's a good movie. Because there was like families that lived in the desert during like the testing of the nuclear bombs and shit. And that like mutations from the chemicals that we were experimenting on there really fucked people up. I do, John. I do. Truth Quest, how are you? I didn't say hi to you yet. I'm sorry. How are you? You're not home. Well, I'm glad you're with us. What movie trilogy? What movie trilogy? Emily, how are you? I have the trilogy of Terror Doll. What is the Terror Doll trilogy? Am I missing something? The dude with the huge ass head and the Hills Have Eyes was insane. Yeah, he was. I was going to really dark, decision person. Oh, let's see, Exorcist 3 Nights. I really think it was possessed or something weird as oh, LOL. That's crazy. That is crazy. I gotta respond to the pictures that I'm gonna post, guys. Some of the pictures that Stargate posted or shared with me, I'm gonna share on the community post real quick. I want to respond to her though. Hang on a second. Pearl Green, thank you so much. Oh, you're awesome. Thank you. I know we hit 55,000 subs. I can't believe we hit it. It was, I was like, oh my God. And I told Abby, I said, Abby, I said, we're only 45 subs away. Crypto Work Pro, how are you? Is your daughter or daughters? No, Crypto. They now, both girls live with me, or my oldest daughter lives with me now. So they moved away from the house that they were living at. So no. Turner and Hooch or Cujo? Cujo. Twilight Zone movie, the actor that died on the set. Yeah, Libra. They were killed in the Nazi train scene. It was the Nazi train scene, right, guys? Where he kept like going through. No, there was a guy that died in the Twilight Zone that was in the Nazi train scene too, though. Twilight Zone Nazi train scene, actor died. Yep. Death said revisited. So there was a guy in the original Twilight Zone. Nazi-occupied France. Hang on. Oh my God. Don't make me sign up for it. I don't want to pay you money. Twilight Zone. Speaking German. In the scene. Yeah, it was Vic, but yeah, it was the scene where he was in with the Nazis. But he didn't die in that scene. I miss the X-Files too. Has anyone seen the new Pet Sematary movie? David Duchovny's in that movie. And that when I saw him in that movie, I instantly thought of the X-Files. I was like, oh shit. Savage. Haha. We're gonna go puff on some green. Dude, did you check this out? So New York hasn't officially legalized weed yet, right? My oldest daughter, partakes in the medicinal marijuana, and they have this like pop-up on Facebook, and you go and you get like really exotic weed and shit. They went to this thing. It's at somebody's house in like a barn. They go, they get a pop-up, boom, go here, only a select few people. They pay $10 to get in, and then there's the vendors. And then they play bingo. They play pot bingo. Pot bingo. Fucking awesome. Billy Zane and Demon's Night. Yeah, boy. Filter, nice shot, man. What a good shot, man. No, Ben. I've been sober for 7 years. Next year will be 8. So I don't drink, smoke weed. I don't do anything. Oh, that's awesome, Corey. I don't mind weed. Now I'm sober because if if I could if I could smoke and not bring me back to opiates, I probably would. But I have such a strong addiction to opiates that I'm afraid to do anything. So I won't, you know. But I had been addicted to opiates since I was 17 years old. You know, and I'm 47 now, and I stopped when I was 40. So 33 years of my life was daily partaking in opiates, which sucked because my life was fucked. Yeah, exactly, Anastasia. I like looking at it, smelling it. Doesn't bother me. I don't like the smell of it when it's burning. Thanks, Gigi. Thanks, dude from Texas. Yeah, the first time I ever took an opiate, I was playing Scrabble and with my uncle, and we ran out of weed. And he said, "I got something just as good." And he hands me a Norco, a yellow Norco. And I'm off to the races, sucker. Thanks, Libra. Congratulations, dude. And it was suck because when I was going through withdrawal, my neuropathy was the worst. It was just, I had just gotten diagnosed with my illness like 2 years before that. And my neuropathy was so bad, and I was going through like my fucking whatever. I used to call it the heebie-jeebies because my fucking legs would shake. Well, good for you, Corey. I was addicted to the hokey pokey, but I turned myself around. That's fucking funny, dude. Thanks, HD. Pot is legal in New York. It is legal in New York. There's just select pop-ups that can do it. You know what I mean? It's weird. The laws are weird. They're very in between the lines, to be honest with you. Puma Pete, good shit, brother. Good shit. Spirit level, I'm doing acid for my 50th this month. Holy shit. It's been so long since I did acid. Damn. I remember eating micro dots, dude, going tripping out and playing in the water. NAD helps all kind of withdrawal symptoms from every substance. Battling it. Yeah, I don't have withdrawal anymore. I've been sober for long now. Jeff, what's hokey pokey? It's a song. I do the hokey pokey and I turn myself around. That's how we talk. No, never tried DMT. Mescaline, microdots. I'm old school, so I'm 47. I remember when like Jesus Christ acid was out. And that was like back in the day, like when there was a guy, Christopher Robbins was his name, and he was growing the LSD crystal. I wouldn't doubt that, Ben. I would not doubt that. Is my fucking pod gone? What's going on here? You gotta be kidding me. I'll be right back. I gotta get a pod. Ugh. Dude, we've been doing a live for 3 hours tonight. This is crazy. Bow. Purple micro dots. We had these gold ones. I remember my best friend at the time, his brother was an acid dealer, and he had a fucking Bible. That's what they used to call like when you got a page of a sheet of acid, and he had like the Bible of acid. And we used to leave school, and when he was in college, he'd be at school. He'd keep his acid in his parents' freezer. We'd go and tear off a piece, take a chunk, and go back to school like idiots. Truth Quest, be safe, please. Please be safe. Yeah, clocks got turned around already. It's only 1:54 right now. Shirley, yes, absolutely. 100%. I bet you. I know, gee, that'd be so funny. Did shrooms with my brother. 20s, weird. Yeah. I don't like shrooms. I didn't like them when I did them. First time I ever did shrooms, we were at school. I did, for some reason, I did drugs all the time when I was in school. Jeff is way back in the comments. No, I'm right in town. I'm glad you're having fun, Heather. So anyway, my buddy's like, dude, we got shrooms. And I'm like, shrooms? I'm like, sweet. My dad had just bought me a t-shirt that said it had the rabbit, like the tricks rabbit, and it said, silly rabbit, trips are for kids. And the rabbit was tripping out. And so I was like, cool, I'll eat some shrooms with you. Well, I ended up eating an eighth of them. And I go into school and I'm fucking puking in the bathroom. And I puked on my principal's shoes. And he goes, get out. I got suspended. Did that, Luke. Did that already when I was younger. Yeah, anything that grows under shit just doesn't agree with my stomach. It was early September 1973 in East Texas, somewhere in the Big Thicket area north of Beaumont. Oh my God. That's right where. Wow. Anyway, it was early September 1973 in East Texas, somewhere in the Big Thicket area of North Beaumont. It was late on Friday night. My mom, stepdad, stepbrother, and uncle and aunt had arrived at a scheduled hunting cabin for the weekend. My stepdad and uncle were up to go hunting, and everyone else was along for the ride and spent some time in the woods. We arrived late as everyone had to finish work on the Friday evening, so it was around 11 p.m. when we arrived. It was pitch black. However, there was a light attached to a power pole that provided power to the cabin. We hurried in as it started to mist a light rain. Once inside, the cabin was normal looking, rectangular in shape, and the main area was in the middle of the kitchen and sitting area with bunk rooms on each end of the cabin. My brother, who we will call E, and I went into the rooms on the right side of the cabin where there was a set of bunk beds located to a window. Our parents chose the room at the other end of the cabin, and soon we were all asleep. It was around 1 a.m. that I woke up to my brother screaming at the top of his lungs. I put my head over the edge of the top bunk to peer below to see what was up with my younger brother. My brother pulled away from the bed, standing at the edge, staring out the window. The window was large enough that it was visible from the bottom and top bunk. My eyes saw movement at the window. It was brown and furry. I quickly spun around back onto the top bunk, and there I was, face to face with a horrible sight. The beast with large eyes and a snarled upturn on its face, exposing dangerous teeth. It quickly moved away from the window. I found myself now screaming, and soon my stepdad and uncle were on the scene. Shortly, the beast was heard screaming outside, and the power pole with the light shook until it went off along with the power. My uncle and stepdad went outside with rifles, assuming it was a bear. Shortly after, they ran back inside, locked and barricaded the door. They did their best to calm us down. We all stayed in the living area. My aunt was aggressively trying to get the men to say it was just a bear. As I lie there pretending to sleep, I vividly overheard my uncle say, "No way, that was a bear." The next morning, we hustled to pack and leave. One of the cars we had driven was a Pinto. The right front top of the corner panel had been dented in as if it had been pressed down by weight, and there were smudges on the windshield as if something was leaning on the car looking in. There were tracks from the rain. They were not very clear. My brother and I trailed the older men to the back of the cabin. We examined the area next to the window. The cabin was on a slant, as to say the ground around it was not necessarily flat, and it was significantly lower on one side of the cabin than the other, and went down the hill to the driveway. For an animal to put its face in the window, it would have needed to be over 8 feet tall, and its eyes to be even with the top bunk. My dad said if it was a bear, it would have been the biggest bear in existence. We all got in the car and left. Everyone was on edge. No one spoke on the way home. Not the Pinto. It was a gremlin. Slap the like button as if it owes you money. Oh boy. Give that like button a dirty Sanchez, guys. Ben Dean. Caden, how many guns and knives do you have? Truth Quest, I hope you enjoy them all. Dude, Jesse's story fucked me up. I did, and now Jesse's story completely, like, I don't know. I haven't been the same after talking to him, and it was just probably the worst experience I ever had heard. B. Sanchez, I love you too. Monty, have a good night. Libra, when I talked to him, so when we talked the first night he shared the experience with me, I was sitting at my desk and I literally was like, I had my phone on, like I had my speaker on, and I'm like talking to him, listening to it, and listening to how he was just telling me it. And I started to fucking cry. I literally instantly started to think about my girls, you know, and to know that once you saw one, you know, you're seeing this, you see your wife, like fucking imagine this, man. You're fishing, you're having a good time, and you look over at your wife and she's standing up and she's looking at your son. And then you look at your son and you see this monster. And how he said it grabbed him, like, so his son, and dropped to 3 and just ran and carried the son. I was like, what the hell? OG Candy, have a great night, guys. Thank you for joining us. Luke, me neither. Me neither. Ben, have a good night, brother. Stay well. Dude, Craig, I agree 100%, man. 100%. It was. And then there was a guy in the comment section that like commented, how old was, or what was the victim's name so I can look it up. Like he didn't listen to the fucking story, you know, like, dude, I just shared with you the worst experience I had ever heard in my life. Like, I shared the Rougarou story of that guy that saw him eating the girl or whatever, but that wasn't shared with me indirectly. I read that online. The Jesse was just like, from his mouth to my ears, was so just disturbing, man. It was and you know, like, it's crazy because he got warnings on it. You know, the wife, they had seen the eyes, they'd seen the footprints. He had already known, he had heard legend of the dog man. It's just a fucking, oh, guys, so tomorrow I'm interviewing, do you guys remember Brooke, who came on the show? She's the young woman from West Virginia. She's she's a TikToker, but not your average TikToker. She talks about cryptids, and her experiences and stuff like that. Really nice girl. And her dad I'm gonna talk to her dad at 1 tomorrow afternoon, and have that interview out for you guys for Monday, which is gonna be good. But he literally, when I told you guys, like, the creek, it was Wheeling Creek, he knew exactly where I was talking about when he heard the experience. And because it notches, it goes like right in from one state to the other. Boom, right there. Show us your necklace. It's just 2 silver necklaces. It's my cross. And then just this one that I got, silver necklace at the fair, at the silver place at the fair. Like, there's dealers and shit that go to local fairs. Yeah, Libra. Yeah, it is that girl. Yup. Yup. Yeah, Libra brought it up. She's the girl that they cremated. Can you imagine not knowing? Like, you want to see your son and you find out that his body is cremated? Like, what the fuck is that about? No, I don't vape, George. No. Yes, I do, George. Yeah. Ben, the gator head is hanging on my wall that you sent me a while back. Hey, Tyler, how are you? I can't put a link in the description here today. YouTube won't let me link it. It's within last week. It's, if you go to videos on my channel, it's within the last week. It's probably the most viewed video that I have. Tyler Marshall, how are you? I'm thinking of vaping CBD for anxiety. My dad does CBD. He likes it. He says it works. All right, guys, we're 3 hours and 10 minutes into the live. I had a blast with y'all. Tyler woke up, caught the tail end. I really appreciate you guys spending this much time with me. This has been the longest live stream we've ever had. I'm going to sneeze. $20 is $20. Want me to yell it out the window? $20 is $20. It just echoes. That's how we'll end the live stream from now on. Guys, thank you for hanging out with me. I had a blast. I can't wait to see you guys next Saturday. But with that being said, stay safe, and I love you all.